All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a brand new wave of AI that, honestly, could completely change the game for how we do research. We're going to look at some amazing tools built to help academics, students, really anyone who has to wade through tons of information to cut through all that noise and get to the answers way, way faster.
So, to get us started, think about a question like this one. This isn't just some random trivia, right? It's a real, practical problem. You can just imagine an educator wanting to tackle this, to use actual research to make a real difference for their students. It's not a simple yes or no thing.
But, and this is the big but, finding a solid, evidence-based answer? Whoa, that is not easy. It means you've got to navigate this massive, super complex ocean of information. It means you have to face what we're calling the research gauntlet. Okay, so before we jump into all the cool AI solutions, let's actually take a second to appreciate the challenge here. What does this gauntlet really look like? What does it feel like for a researcher, or maybe a student, who's just trying to build a solid argument today?
Well, the whole process it's intense. I mean, it all kicks off with a good question, sure. But then you're diving headfirst into all the existing literature, you're collecting your own data, you're trying to come up with recommendations. And woven through all of that is maybe the most brutal part. You have to verify and cite every single source.
So the big question is, how do we make this whole thing, manageable? And that's where the digital toolkit comes in. For years now, researchers have been leaning on software to help out, and these tools, they pretty much fall into two main camps. So on one side, you've got your reference managers. These are basically your personal digital library, helping you keep track of everything you've already found. Then, on the other side, you have the discovery platforms. These are the tools that use AI to dig through mountains of data to help you find new stuff. And I'm sure you've probably heard of some of these, right? For managing your references, you've got the classics like Zotero or Mendeley. And when you're hunting for new papers, tools like Semantic Scholar and, of course, Google Scholar are the absolute go-to for millions of people.
Now, these tools are great. They're powerful, but they're separate. They live in different worlds. And that brings up a really interesting question. What if a tool could do both? What if it could bridge that gap and maybe, just maybe, do even more?
Well, that exact question is what a whole new generation of tools is trying to answer. And to really get how they're doing it, let's zoom in on one specific example. It's called GetLiner, and it's built to be an all-in-one AI research assistant.
So what exactly is it? Think of it like a hybrid. It mashes together a super smart AI-powered search engine for finding new stuff, with a personal workspace where you can organize, highlight, and make sense of everything you find.
Okay, so here's how a workflow like this actually plays out. You start with a question, just like you would with any search engine. You get an AI-generated answer back, but, and this is the absolute game changer, every single claim comes with a citation. From there, you can even upload your own documents like PDFs or presentations and manage the whole shebang in one single unified workspace.
And that right there, that gets to the absolute heart of it. The mission is to give you answers you can actually trust because they're backed up by sources. It's all about getting rid of that massive, soul-crushing burden of manually tracking down where every little piece of information came from.
Okay, so that's the pitch, and it sounds pretty good. But how does a tool like this actually stack up against everything else that's out there? Let's zoom back out for a second and take a look at the bigger picture.
Let's break this down. You've got your generic chatbots, right? They're amazing at writing stuff, but they have this really bad habit of just making up sources. That's what we call hallucinating. Then you have a tool like Semantic Scholar, which is fantastic for finding real academic papers. GetLiner tries to be the best of both worlds, a full-on workflow assistant where its killer feature is those built-in, line-by-line citations.
And this is so important. This is the crucial defense against AI's biggest weakness, its tendency to just invent facts. Because every claim is tied directly to a real source, you get traceability. It's about building in that academic credibility right from the start. So, let's wrap up its key strengths. At its core, it's about trust, and that trust comes from those traceable citations. But the real magic is the integration. The fact that you can summarize anything, a PDF, a PowerPoint, a doc, and then organize, highlight, and make notes on it all in one place. It's like having a central hub for your entire research project.
But, and I really need to stress this is super important. No matter how powerful these tools get, you have to remember they are an assistant. They are not a replacement for your own brain. Your critical judgment, your deep reading, that's still the most important part of the equation.
All right, so this brings us to the final takeaway. How should we really think about these tools? The goal here isn't to work harder, it's to research smarter. So, what does that actually look like day to day?
So, when should you reach for an AI research assistant? Well, think about when you're just starting a project and need to get up to speed on a new topic really fast. Or when you have to pull together information from all sorts of different places, papers, reports, slides. It's perfect for doing the heavy lifting on a literature review. And it can even be a fantastic brainstorming partner to help you come up with new questions.
Look, at the end of the day, the whole point of a great tool is to take the boring, tedious stuff off your plate. It's about automating the grunt work of finding and organizing information so that you can free up your brain power for what really matters, the stuff that only you can do. Deep analysis, creative synthesis, and coming up with those brilliant new insights.
So as we finish up here, I want to leave you with this thought. These AI assistants are absolutely reshaping the world of research. There's no doubt about it. The only real question left is, with the right assistant by your side, what amazing question are you going to answer next?